Imagine this. You're living with a roommate who's supposed to be your friend, your ally, someone you trust to split rent fairly, and suddenly, they decide you're on the hook for their $2,000 debt. Sounds impossible, right? Well, this is exactly what happened to me, and I found a way to turn the tables in the most satisfying way possible. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you love stories where karma comes through, and make sure you subscribe for more unbelievable real-life revenge tales. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this one. I lived in a house with two roommates, Tom, 27, and Alex, 30. For about 4 years, everything was smooth. Rent was split evenly, bills were paid on time, chores were shared. We joked, we hung out, and life was normal. But then, out of nowhere, Tom stopped paying his share. Not a week, not a month. He vanished financially for months. We later learned it wasn't laziness. He had spiraled into a full-blown meth addiction. Suddenly, the house we once enjoyed turned into a ticking time bomb. You know that sinking feeling when someone you trusted betrays you? That's what hit me. Betrayal isn't just a word. It's that pit in your stomach that keeps you awake at night, replaying every instance of unfairness, every lie. At first, we tried reasoning with him, sitting down calmly, explaining the $2,000 debt he owed and that he needed to either pay up or leave. His response, "Well, you can't actually evict me, so you'll have to cover it unless you want all of us evicted." Do you feel that? That punch to your chest? That's when anger starts mixing with helplessness. The very person who caused the problem was trying to weaponize it against us. And it wasn't just the money. Tom's meth use escalated to terrifying levels. He'd stay awake for days, bringing strangers into the house at all hours. One night, I watched in disbelief as he waved a gun around during a meth binge. A gun. In our living room. Every day, my anxiety grew. Every knock at the door, every creak on the stairs, I braced myself. The house that had been our sanctuary was now a nightmare. And yet, he had the audacity to treat us like villains, like we were overreacting. I can still remember the nights lying awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking, how did I end up in a situation where my roommate's addiction is controlling my life? We looked into legal options and discovered the Address Confidentiality Program, ACP. It was designed for people in unsafe living situations. If a caseworker verified your circumstances, the landlord had to release you from the lease without penalty. For the first time in months, I felt a spark of hope. A way out. A chance to reclaim control. We knew this had to be done carefully. Timing was everything. There's a 30-day waiting period between giving notice and actually leaving. Those 30 days became our plan. Tom, oblivious to our research, strutted around like he had won the game. He genuinely thought he had us trapped. Every smug text he sent, every "I'm untouchable" comment, fueled our resolve. I remember talking to Alex one night, whispering, "We're going to flip this. Just wait. We have the upper hand." That feeling, the thrill of turning the tables, is indescribable. It's the sweet anticipation of justice. We meticulously prepared, each day, quietly packing our essentials, coordinating with movers. Everything had to be perfect. And then, right before the 30-day mark, Tom left town for a long weekend. It was the perfect storm. We executed our plan with military precision. Boxes moved, furniture shifted, keys returned. It was almost cinematic. 3 friends outmaneuvering someone who had spent months trying to manipulate and intimidate us. By the time Tom returned, the house was empty. Not a single trace of us left behind. His smug smile faded the moment he realized what had happened. He called, texted, tried to guilt-trip us, but it was too late. The ACP had done its job, and we were free. I still remember the feeling walking out of that house for the last time. The smell of stale cigarettes and chemicals, the creaking floorboards that had once felt like home. now symbols of chaos. The sun hitting my face outside, warm and liberating. I felt a mix of adrenaline and relief, a sense of righteousness that only comes from seeing justice served in real life. Every fear, every sleepless night, every moment of anxiety, it all culminated in this moment. Inside, Tom's confusion and anger were palpable even through the phone. I whispered to myself, "This is what happens when you try to play people. This is what karma looks like." A few months later, I checked the local court database out of curiosity. There it was in black and white. Tom had been formally evicted. Homelessness, scrambling for temporary housing, crashing on his mom's couch. The cherry on top, he had spent months thinking he had power over us. And now, the roles were reversed. The sense of justice, of satisfaction, was immense. It wasn't cruel, it was earned. Every sleepless night, every threat, every moment of fear had led to this. Sometimes, life gives you an unfair hand. But there's a lesson here. Knowledge is power. Planning, patience, and calm execution can turn even the most impossible situations into victories. And always remember, protect your safety first. Everything else comes second. If you loved this story, hit that like button, share it with a friend who's ever had a nightmare roommate, and subscribe for more tales of real-life revenge and justice served. And remember, sometimes the universe has a way of setting things right. You just have to play smart.